Wow, this is certainly different. There are flowers and plants everywhere. I can even see a water wheel over there.
It is a beautiful place.
This evening breeze is a little chilly. So, is this the Storyteller's garden then?
I think that's probably a safe assumption, Luke. Judging by the abundance of water and rose bushes, it's being well taken care of. I'd be inclined to say the tower seems more akin to a castle.
Who'd have imagined we'd end up in a beautiful place like this? Let's investigate.
Sounds good to me. So let's see what we got here. What happens if we go to move? Then we gotta solve all those puzzles again. No, I'm just joking. Okay. Hint coin. Are you in the waterfall? Are you in the little pond? And the flowers, okay. Okay, there's two. This? No? Sensitivity is like really weird. There we go.
This must be where the water, or this must be where the water that surrounds the tower is turned into mist, right, Professor?
I wonder if this is what is creating a veil of mist over the garden.
Okay. What about this door?
This building is really something else. I guess this pot must be the Storyteller's house. Espella must have lived here when she was younger.
Yes, indeed. This must have been her family home.
Her family. I wonder if she had any plans to ever come back here.
No matter where she goes or what she does, family is family. This will always be her home. I'd say it's highly likely that she would wish to come back here someday.
I suppose so, even if her family was only the two of them.
The relationship between Espella and her father may well prove to be an important clue.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Huh?
What's the matter, Luke?
It's nothing. I'm probably seeing things, but for a moment there, I thought I saw something moving at the top of the tower. Sorry, it must have been my imagination. Let's go inside, Professor.
Well, what about this gazebo thing?
Amazingly, it appears the structure was recently adorned with flowers and kept in rather good repair.
I bet Espella sure must have had quite the comfortable life back when she used to live here.
Okay, what about the water?
I don't think Labyrinthia will have to worry about water shortages anytime soon, that's for sure.
I imagine it must have been quite important to develop a technique for drawing water up to such a height.
Okay. Child's room. Why is this reminding me of In's room from Pokemon Black and White? All of a sudden.
This appears to be a child's room.
It certainly looks that way. From its condition, I'd say it hasn't been used for some time. Presumably, it was used by Espella as a child.
Right. So this is where Espella grew up. Something pretty big must have happened to make her leave home so young. I wonder how Espella and the Storyteller used to get on together.
Wait, and I wonder how Espella and the Storyteller used to get on together. What?
Espella is a young lady of strong conviction and a kind heart. I'm certain that's because she grew up within a fine home environment. In other words, I'm sure she and her father must have spent some quality time here together.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're right about that. For Espella, this place must be full of precious memories. I almost feel as we're intruding, coming in here like this.
But Luke, we have no choice if we wish to save Espella.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. When you put it like that, I guess she wouldn't mind if she knew.
Who's that peeking behind there?
Well, that's odd. It's blue. That must mean there's some really investigating going on over there.
The paintings on the wall certainly give this room a rather charming feel.
Haven't ran into the blue one in a while, actually.
This painting sure does make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, doesn't it, Professor?
Give me some money. Give me some money. And where's that last one at? I feel like it's the star. One of the stars. No? Up here? There's the star. Okay. That was it.
This wall is filled with artwork from top to bottom, and not a speck of dust in sight.
It looks as if the room is just the way Espella left it back when she left home.
Makes you gotta wonder, was the Storyteller really a bad guy? Always thinking about his daughter because he kept her room nice and clean.
Hey, look at all those stuffed animals and toys!
Whoever made these stuffed animals appears to have put quite their heart and soul into their craftsmanship.
What about this door? Actually, no, let's... Ah, no.
Look, Professor! The door over there looks like the way forward!
Indeed, but first of all, let's investigate this room a little, shall we?
That's what I was doing. I was just seeing if there was anything else in here.
Crikey, mate! Professor! Behind that curtain! There's someone there!
Or is there?
The mysterious figure turned out to be...
just a doll. Whew, that's a relief. My heart was in my mouth.
Never heard that expression before. I only heard, I heard something like that, but not that one, I believe.
Espella must have played with this doll as a child.
Eh? What's this? It looks like a diary. Shall we take a peek, Professor? Look, Professor, there's a child's picture book here. The title is The First Story.
It would appear to be a handmade children's picture book.
I wonder if it was written especially for Espella.
It may well have been. Evidently, a great deal of loving care has been put into the writing and illustrations. There was a bad witch in the town. all of the carrots in the field disappeared, and all the money in the bank was turned into pumpkins. The people of the town had to put up with all kinds of mischief from the witch. They didn't know what to do. Then, one day, a brave young girl appeared and said to the townsfolk, "When the witch uses witchcraft, she always uses a big stick, doesn't she? So if we take away her big stick, we'll be able to stop her." After hearing this, the people of the town set a trap for the witch and managed to capture her. At her trial, the bad witch said this to the people: "Even now, the great witch Espella is living here, in this town. Espella is the queen of all the witches. She is the one who gives us witches life." The townsfolk punished the witch, and peace was restored to the town once more. To this day, Espella is still hiding somewhere in this town. But the brave townsfolk will not be beaten by the bad witches.
Who'd have thought there would be a fairy tale about Espella? She's a mysterious character, all right.
Tell me, Luke, why do you think the author chose to write about Espella in a children's picture book?
Huh? Well, maybe to make their child behave? Something like, if you don't do as you're told, Espella will come and get you. Yes, get you and take you into the woods! Yes, Professor, that's why!
Yes, indeed, that is a possibility. Still, I have to wonder, why is it that some lowly witch was caught, and not the great witch herself?
Well, I suppose it is a bit strange.
Yeah, they made the story out as if it was the bad witch the entire time that was, like, the main witch, and then all of a sudden the witch says Bezella's it, and then the story just ends there. It is kind of a strange ending.
If Espella herself had been caught, the story could have been brought to a more conclusive ending.
That's pretty much it right there.
Do you think there's some other reason?
It's certainly a possibility. I don't suppose there are any other handmade picture books in the room apart from this one.
Handmade picture books. I don't see any. I guess that must be the only one.
Which would imply this book has some special significance.
I guess so. After all, it is handmade. I bet she really treasured it. Do you think it was the storyteller who wrote this book?
The handwriting does seem very similar to that of the story. This book appears to have been written with a touch more care and attention, but I imagine it was the storyteller who wrote it.
Back when the storyteller had a bit more of a heart and was more caring, you could say.
He must have written it as a gift from father to daughter. That actually seems really thoughtful. Even if the story itself is a little scary, I'd like to take this book to Espella.
Yes, let's do just that, Luke. We must take good care of it.
Okay, I think that's it for that. Let's head over here now.
I believe we've seen all there is to see here. Let's press on, Luke.
Open sesame! The Storyteller's room, eh? And no hidden puzzles, right? No. No hidden puzzles in here, either. Also, it looks like a friggin' complete mess in here. Wow. It's quite the room you got here, Storyteller.
What do you make of this room, Professor? It's not very tidy.
This appears to be the very top room of the tower. The parchment lying on the floor here seems very similar to the type on which the storyteller writes his stories. I think we can say with some certainty that this is the storyteller's room.
Huh? This is the storyteller's room? I was imagining something a bit grander, like a throne room with all kinds of posh decorations.
While I agree with that, it's a little eccentric. It's unmistakably the study of an author. He probably spent all his time in here, continuously writing those stories.
Oh, my nose itches! Jeez.
The stories. I wonder what Espella thought of it all. Her father writing stories for all the townsfolk, I mean. I wonder if she looked forward to seeing the new stories completed. Or if she...
The stories were probably a little too immature in content for a young child. I don't imagine the storyteller would have shown Espella many of them.
But in that case, surely she can't have had many opportunities to even talk to her father, given how busy he was. I guess that means she was pretty lonely. It must have been hard for her, even knowing how important those stories are for the people of the town. But I don't think it's right. No child should be unable to talk with their father.
I absolutely agree, Luke. I believe it will be important in the upcoming trial to have an understanding of Espella's feelings towards her father.
Professor?
Knowing you, Luke, I'm sure you must have a lot of things on your mind at the moment. So, if there's anything at all that you want to talk about, you will tell me, won't you?
Of course I will, Professor.
I'm always ready to listen, Luke. Now then, shall we start investigating this room?
Because I don't actually want to hear what you have to say right this moment. Notice how I changed the subject very hastily there. A doll. And there's one more. Somewhere. But funny enough, if we get one more, that means there's gonna be... there might be 200 points in the game in total. Because we're at 191, and that means if there's 3 more rooms, then that'll be an equal 200. So,
we're getting down to the end there, folks.
Nice fish.
From the looks of this room, it appears the storyteller is quite the talented artist.
Oops.
Something about this room really makes it feel a lot like the professor's studies, except less messy.
What, you don't want to investigate this friggin' thing? This thing's really investigative, I would have thought. Alright, so we've investigated everything, it looks like, except for... Oh, wait, nope.
Wow! There sure is quite a bit of light coming through that stained glass window, huh?
I wonder if this is actually the topmost part of the tower.
And now... let's go over here.
Look, Professor! A photograph! Wait, I didn't think they even had photographs in this town!
Sketches.
Indeed, It's not the kind of thing one would have expected to find here. It's as if the storyteller has a lot of technology he has not shared with the town.
Too right! I certainly haven't seen any cameras about since we got here. There's no doubt that this is a photo, though. What could that mean?
This may be in some way related to the tower being so closely protected. What do you see in the photograph, Luke?
There are two children, both young girls.
Is that Darklaw?
The photo looks quite old, doesn't it?
She looks a lot older than Espella, yet holy crap.
I wonder who they are.
Well, one of them surely is Espella. You know, the one on the left. There can be little no doubt about that.
Hey, you're right! And look at that pendant. It's the same one that Espella always wears.
Oh! And yet the other pendant is on the other girl too. But they don't know that yet because they're not in trial.
The fact that she's continued to wear it ever since shows just how important that pendant must be to her.
What about this other girl? Do you think she's a friend of Espella's?
Indeed, I'd wager the two of them were rather close at that.
They do look pretty chummy, all right. See, they even have the same pendant!
Hint, hint, hint.
A glimpse into Espella's past. This may well prove to be an important clue.
It's gonna be more important clue than, yeah.
I would like to ask her about it face to face. Let's borrow it for the time being.
And notice how it's a photo that's taken in the town. And is that the bell tower behind them? I don't recognize that building behind them. Except for it being the bell tower, maybe.
I wonder if there are any other clues knocking around.
Well, I'd say there's something that you thought you saw moving earlier as a point worth pursuing.
But this isn't the last room in the tower. But isn't this the last room in the tower? I must have been imagining things.
Not necessarily, Luke. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a way of getting beyond even this room. Let's look around more closely.
Right you are, Professor. As always.